No double-double for Angel Reese equals victory for the Chicago Sky.
You've heard the buzz about Angel Reese, but has her game been figured out? In a surprising move, the Chicago Sky handed her role to someone else, but this wasn't a random decision. So why hasn't Angel Reese lived up to the unstoppable star label? Stick around. We're breaking down what's really happening behind the scenes.
Chicago Sky actually pulled it out against the Dallas Wings, and honestly, I feel like it's because they are starting to realize the things that need to happen in order to win games.
You might be wondering, how did Angel Reese, a player once projected for greatness after her standout college career, suddenly start losing ground to Camila Cardoso on the Chicago Sky? The answer isn't drama, it's performance. When you look closely, Cardoso brought exactly what the Sky's offense was missing, stepping into a role that Reese, despite her potential, just couldn't quite fill.
Elevate Camila Cardoso and let everything run through her. Let her be the dominant force down close to the basket for the Chicago Sky. Turn Angel Reese into a role player, and you know what will happen? You will be an improved team, and you will win games.
Let's break down what went wrong for Angel Reese. She entered the league with sky-high expectations, known for her physicality and dominance on the boards in college. But the WNBA is a different game. Defenses are quicker, more strategic, and far less forgiving to players who rely on a single dimension. Reese's adjustment has been rocky, and the stats make that hard to ignore.
She should be your fourth or fifth offensive option because she can't shoot. She still couldn't shoot last night. That's just a fact. She still could not shoot the basketball. You know, she's not efficient at all, and the lack of efficiency in her shooting leads to losses.
Take the game against the Dallas Wings, for example. Reese played 25 minutes but managed to hit just 2 of her 6 shots. That's a mere 33% from the field, finishing with only 6 points. For a player who entered the league with so much hype, that kind of performance raises eyebrows. Now compare that to Camila Cardoso in the same game. 23 points on 9 of 13 shooting, a staggering 69% efficiency. The contrast couldn't be clearer.
9 of 13, 69% from the field, 83% from the line, 8 rebounds, 23 points. She was dominant last night.
It's not just that Cardoso scored more, it's how she made every possession count. Her game is fundamentally different from Reese's. While Reese leans on physicality, Cardoso plays with poise and precision. She's smooth, deliberate, and consistently finds the right spots on the floor to keep the offense flowing. Watch her closely, and it becomes clear it's not just about finishing layups, it's about timing, positioning, and making smart, efficient plays that elevate the entire team.
Camila Cardoso, guess who finally got more minutes than Angel Reese in a ball game? Hell has frozen over, I guess. But finally, they ran this whole shooting match through Cardoso.
Cardoso is also opening up the floor for her teammates, dishing out passes that lead to open threes and adding layers to the Sky's offense. Reese, on the other hand, has struggled to adapt her physical, college-style game to the WNBA's faster, more disciplined defenses. Take that moment from the Wings game. She drove hard to the basket, only to be cleanly blocked by Nalisa Smith. It was a clear reminder that what worked in college doesn't always translate at the pro level, especially for a player still leaning heavily on one dimension of her game.
Angel Reese, 25 minutes, 2 of 6 from the field, 33%. You're 6'4", 33%. I mean, honestly, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 points. You're right in your lane.
The biggest difference lies in their styles of play. Reese has always relied on her grit, battling in the paint and crashing the boards. But if she can't finish consistently, all that hustle doesn't translate to points. Cardoso, on the other hand, doesn't need to fight for every bucket. Her finesse, reliable mid-range jumper, and sharp court awareness make her a constant offensive threat. And it's not just her scoring. Her high basketball IQ helps create better spacing, something the Sky desperately needed after their early season struggles.
reinforced. I mean, you're looking at right here. She grabs the ball, lay in. She hits her layups, by the way.
One game in particular highlights Cardoso's rise during a tough stretch for the Sky. In the second half, her scoring surge completely shifted the momentum. She delivered under pressure, avoided costly turnovers, and brought a steady rhythm to the offense when it mattered most. Reese, by contrast, had a much smaller impact in those crucial moments, and that's why the coaching staff made the switch. Cardoso's expanded role wasn't just a strategic choice, it was a necessity.
We've seen Camilla trailing Angel a lot lately and/or cutting around the basket while Angel's down here and she keeps throwing up shots and keeps missing. Angel actually threw the ball back to Camilla, and it worked.
When one player is hitting nearly 70% of her shots while the other is missing 2/3 of hers, the decision practically makes itself. That stat tells the story. Cardoso's efficiency isn't just impressive, it's game-changing. It's a big reason the Sky are starting to rebuild the chemistry they've been lacking. But with these changes in motion, the question now is, what's happening to Angel Reese's confidence? Let's take a look at how she's handling this humbling adjustment.
It's great. She's figured out she's not an offensive player, and she's more of a role player, a rebounder, a distributor, screen setter. And they figured out a way to feed the ball to Cardoso, their 6'7" center, who does have some offensive skill.
So how is Angel Reese handling this major shakeup? It's definitely a tough situation. Coming into the WNBA as a high-profile star, Reese carried huge expectations. After all, she was a dominant force in college, making an impact every game. But making the jump to the pros hasn't been nearly as seamless.
She can't be in denial of it. She's having to deal with the fact, I'm going to keep forcing these shots up. They're going to keep getting blocked. I'm going to keep missing all of the rim and throwing these bricks up. And therefore, I'm going to give people more ammo to make fun of me over social media.
At LSU, Reese was the centerpiece, the engine driving the offense and the unquestioned go-to player. But in Chicago, she's had to adapt to a much smaller role, and that transition hasn't been easy for her or for the fans who expected her to become a WNBA phenomenon right away. Still, it's easy to understand why this shift was necessary. The Sky stumbled out of the gate with a 0-4 start before making these adjustments.
Hey, look at this. Right here. Right there. Oh, no, they're on me. Let me toss it over here for a wide open tray. Boom. That's good basketball. That is good. Did you see how happy her teammate was?
The team needed wins, and Reese's style just wasn't delivering the results everyone hoped for. Her inconsistent shooting was a major factor. When scoring efficiency falls short, coaches have to find other options. That's where Camilla Cardoso stepped in. With her deadly shooting and floor spacing ability, Cardoso created scoring opportunities that Reese simply couldn't provide.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought made layups with being efficient would lead to winning ball? I guess I would have thought it. I guess I would have thought it. Since last year sometime. Like last July.
The team's decision to shift gears made sense, even if it was frustrating for Reese, and you can see that frustration on the bench. In their last game, cameras caught her looking visibly displeased after being subbed out early. Her body language spoke volumes, arms crossed, distant, and not fully engaging with her teammates. Clearly, she's still wrestling with this new role.
The Sky have one potential bona fide superstar, and that is Camilla Cardoso. It is not Angel Reese. And never on planet Earth should she ever have more minutes than Camilla Cardoso, which has been a trend until last night.
In the post-game interview, Reese didn't openly admit to feeling sidelined, but there's been a noticeable shift in her tone, almost like she's trying to convince herself and everyone else that she's okay with the change. Still, actions often speak louder than words. That said, her impact on the team hasn't vanished. The Sky have leaned on her rebounding and post defense in recent games, and she's still finding ways to contribute.
I saw a few plays where she'll get the rebound, look for somebody, throw it out. That's beautiful work. She did have a moment where she drove in, tried to lay the ball up, missed it, grabbed it, and then she started looking for Cardoso ASAP.
Reese has been making key contributions off the ball, setting sharp screens to free up Cardoso and other shooters. In one important sequence, she grabbed 2 offensive rebounds in a row, setting up a crucial three-pointer for her teammate. Even if she's no longer the star, moments like these prove she can still add real value to the team.
Let her come from the nail with that momentum and put up those type of shots. She did it like 2 or 3 times in this game. Yeah, so I think those are the type of plays that Angel Reese are supposed to be making. Now, they also had some high and low moments in the post with Angel Reese throwing it down in the post to Kamilla Cardoso, which is what I've been saying. They need to use her that way.
But let's get real. Being pushed to a secondary role after carrying so many expectations has to take a toll mentally. Imagine going from near the top of the pyramid to someone whose job is now to complement others. For Reese, who's always thrived in the spotlight, this shift is likely just as much a mental battle as it is a physical one.
Right? They're finally using Angel Reese the right way. If you use her any other type of way, man, you are not going to win these games. Okay? It's just as simple as that.
Here's the thing. It's moments like these that can truly define a career. If Reese can adapt, lean into her strengths, and embrace a supporting role, she could become indispensable in a whole new way. For the Chicago Sky, that shift could be a genuine game changer.
I believe in the playbook and the plan. It doesn't necessarily have her scoring a lot, which I think is a smart idea. And honestly, I even think Angel Reese agrees with that because she stepped out and said she wants to do anything that she can possibly do to win games.
At the end of the day, this isn't just about Angel Reese, it's about what's best for the team. Their first win after the lineup change wasn't a fluke. It was proof that the new approach is working. So where does that leave Reese? Stick around because the full impact of this shift is only just beginning.
For the past few games, Angel Reese has been struggling, okay? But what I think I want the Angel Reese fan base to know is that this might be a regular game for her this year if they want to win. This is what her games are probably going to look like. I can't lie. Now, if she end up finishing more, she can get you the double-double still. But it'll be a low double-double.